Jeans are a style of pants which are typically made out of a fabric called denim. It's made out of two colors of threads. You have the white thread, which runs in one direction, and then you have the blue, which runs in the other direction. But the majority of blue is woven in a special way, so it's on the outside. So that's why it's mostly blue, but you get a little bit of that texture. Not as often, but sometimes jeans are also made out of a cotton twill. The weave is slightly different than denim. Tends to be a lighter weight thread that they use, and of course a solid color. Everyone, looks like my insecurities decided to join us. Pray tell, to what do we owe the pleasure? Oh, nothing. I just heard that you aren't doing an intro, and rumor has it you're taking requests now. Well, first, you're technically a bit of a joke, so I'll call you the intro. But also, Math Guy 3801, he's been asking a few times now. And I want them anyways, and I'm using the less known fabric. I'm doing it my way. It's my project. Okay. We don't need you. Get out of here. Look, all right. Might be back. We'll see. Let's do your thing. It's your video. That's the problem with insecurities. Just shows up whenever they want. Back to the sewing. Because of the weave of this fabric, there is an inside and an outside, so I do have to be careful. And I'm going to work on the inside. Now I'm going to have to do some modifications to this basic pants pattern that I have. Just to adjust the fit a little bit, but also this is a pattern technically for dress pants. Step 1, simply trace it out. You'll notice that I added in a little bit around here, but what happened was that it made for a bit of a saggy butt. So I'm going to take that out, like so. In this area, I'm going to just add in a gingerly amount, roughly equivalent. These pants are rather high-waisted, and so I'm going to take out about 1.5 inches off the top. Now, one more thing. You'll notice with jeans, they have this line along the back here. I also now have to take that off. So I'm going to go 1.5 inches, or let's go 2 inches in. Draw that in. Okay, now I have to duplicate this shape, but I want to mirror it, which means it has to go this way. I'm going to flip it around this way. All right, I really hope I got this right. Yeah, let's hope so. You know what? Did I not say scram? Now for that piece that goes here, I think I can just take what I drew earlier. I'm going to add my seam allowance. Draw that in. Now with this front panel here, the only thing I have to do is take that 1.5 inches off the top. So, there. Fold that over just like so. And then finally here, I gotta trim up various little bits and bobs that I need. So, the fly, the little pieces for the pockets and things. So, editing corn, some music maybe, you know? Alright.
A vibin', me whinin', I'm stress free, my dog's violent. As a young and I would duck from the trident. Feds tried to nick me couple times, but I'm silent. Colourful, Gucci. Tiger on my top and it's vibrant. Go foreign and my car is a migrant. Water on my neck as if I'm playing in a hydrant.
I realize I never really addressed why I have two machines. This one is called an interlocker or a serger, and what it does is it puts a stitch around the fabric to prevent it from fraying. So I'm starting with the zipper, and there's various raw edges that need to be protected. I did buy myself some new thread for this project, a slightly thicker gauge one because it's a heavier fabric. Now, if I may just nerd out for a hot second here, something I've noticed in the various pants that I sew is that right here, there always tends to be like a little bit of a bubbling happening in there. This right there is where the seam is from the other side. So I think I have to be just on the inside of it to allow for the fold of the fabric to prevent the bubbling. Seems to have done it. Another issue that I run into is that this is always too low, and so then I can't sew over nicely when I finish up the zipper. So there's that button. So I'm going to go way higher than usual. I'm going to do it to there. And now that I have zipper stops, it doesn't matter that it goes over. I can just trim that later. And then I also need to put a little mud flap in the back, which is supposed to go this way, yeah. Woohoo! We're good. No bump. Bada boom. Bada bing. We're good to go. Moving on to the pockets, and so once again prepping some raw edges here. So just straight sewing this week, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna focus just on straight sewing this week. Look, I'm making a pair of classic jeans here. Listen, if I make them well, I get it. At least you got me here. They're gonna be handy and I can wear them a lot. So this is the lining of the pocket. This would be the left side. Goes over that way. So this is the part that shows. The pocket will end up here like this. Flip it out around like so. Yeah, okay. I should actually probably check to see what a decent, so let's see here. These ones go down 3 inches. I'm going to adjust slightly based on those measurements. So I'm going to go down about 2.5. And then I'm going to go in 4.5. So 4.5 about there. I'm going to sew along here. Curve, 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 up and around. Like that. And then I have to cut notches in this curve here so that it folds over nicely. Flip that in and around. And down like so. Alright, so that is now folded roughly correctly. There's a little bit of black peeking through on this on the inside. So that way none of the lining will show through. You see that? You see the way there's just a hint of black on the inside like that? And then this flips around like that. So now this little pocket here, so I'm going to trim off the corners so it folds easier. Now iron down one side, the other side, the bottom. Now with this top one though, I want to fold that one twice. Alright. This is the top opening, so I want to top stitch that side down first. If that's going to be sewn about there, and then roughly there. Perfect. Okay. My machine is struggling a little bit with this thicker gauge thread. It's ripping from time to time when there's too many layers of this cotton twill. Oh, okay, there's something going on underneath. That's what I thought. This is what I mean about not handling the thicker gauge thread as well. Alright. That is on. However, denim has these buttons here, and those are to strengthen the corners. So instead of putting them there, what I'm going to put there instead is a zigzag stitch. Alright, not my most beautiful work to date, but I'll forgive myself this time. Moving on to the back and attaching this to here, and then attaching these. Serger, sewer, pretty straightforward stuff. I know I'm tired of hearing myself. Editing, Cornelius, you agree, yeah?
Cercavo un mare calmo e ho trovato te, col vento così forte, non dirmi buonanotte, soltanto per stasera. Amore capoeira, che scesso in una piena, come in una favela.
Alright, so that's where I'm going to leave this for today. The front panel is pretty much ready. Pocket, zipper does still have to be trimmed down, but that's alright. And you know what? I'm actually relatively happy with how this has turned out. The back is put together as well. Start next week with some back pockets. However, noticing a bit of a problem here. That V shape at the top should be straight. Like this would be good to show off a tramp stamp, but that's not what I'm looking to do. So an issue to look into. Let's not even get started. Okay. Scram, all right?